Oh, that means welcome back, pop stars, and welcome to another episode of Popstop, where today we're going to continue our unnecessary deep dive into Disney Channel original movies with Zombies 2, which premiered on February 14th, 2020, and was actually the first Disney Channel original movie of the 2020s. I'm Rizzo.
I'm Benji, and today we are deciding if... What's the movie today?
What? It's Zombies 2.
Zombies 2
Did
is
you
a pop or a stop. I did not forget. I wanted you to say it.
What? No, that sounds like someone who forgot exactly what it was.
But he has no memory.
We decide together.
Yes.
We have the final, say it with me,
The final say. Yes.
on if this movie is a pop or a stop.
So-
And we don't want to hear any rebuttals from y'all, okay?
If you love us, like us.
And if you like us, love our Patreon.
Whoa, and subscribe to us. And let's get into it. Off the bat, what did you think of this?
Okay.
Yeah? Oh, shoot. She's got some words.
I'm going to hold back a little bit because we got to save a little something. The story was a little bit
Similar to something else we've watched?
the last movie.
I was going to say New Moon. I was going to say this was just Twilight
No,
repackaged.
this is completely different. They had shirts on.
Actually, you know, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And New Moon had much better depiction of werewolves. I said it. I said the thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, they did have a bigger budget at least. Let's say that.
You're talking about New Moon or Zombies 2?
I don't think Zombies 2 had a bigger budget than New Moon.
No, but Zombies 2 did have the same director as last time, but a different choreographer, with Jennifer Weber taking the reins this time around. She choreographed the stage adaptation of Cruel Intentions.
So is it called Cruel Musicians?
Okay.
Cruel intentions. We've got cruel intentions.
Ew, is that how you make musicals?
I am so cruel.
Right. She also did the off-Broadway musical K-pop, which she's more known for. She stated in an interview with Broadway Box that she developed 3 unique movement styles for the humans, zombies, and werewolves, with humans doing tosses, jumps, quick formations, zombies doing hip-hop, and werewolves, of course, doing house and breaking. One of the things I did like was that the werewolves did that. It's either called tinikling or tinikling, which is a traditional Philippine folk dance, or chera of the Mizoram. I probably said it all wrong, so let us know in the comments. But, you know, she obviously kind of developed these different styles for the different tribes.
I felt it a little bit, especially in the last dance, where they all kind of came out in their individual groups and then mixed together. You could kind of see the wolves were kind of crumping and they were kind of very down and they would dance very low. And then the humans came in and it was kind of cheerleading. And then the zombies came in and they were doing the appropriation from the last movie.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So we watched the first movie, our first pop stop on Zombies 1, and we both gave it a pop.
Yeah.
So it was a resounding pop. What I didn't really think about was the fact that took place kind of recently. That was in 2018. This took place in 2020. Did this feel like current at all? Or did it feel like it's stuck all the way back in maybe the early 2010s?
Yeah, it just, I wasn't blown away by this one in general.
I thought the choreography in Zombies 1 was a lot more like intense and visceral, but even that was kind of behind on the times. I mean, I'm not a dancer myself, but it feels very kind of like, why are we chasing trends here? Like,
why are we behind? Let's be ahead of the trend.
Let's be ahead of the curve here.
Disney. I don't know. It was a bunch of kids dancing. Like, I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm holding them to a higher standard. I'm a dance mom, Benji.
Clearly,
I don't know how to do it, but I'll shout at you.
I thought you were better than most of the people in this group. Oh, that's cocky.
Something that was kind of progressive for this film, and I don't mean anything in front of the camera, I mean the camera itself. This was the first Disney Channel original movie that was shot in Panavision, which means it had that slick anamorphic look to it instead of like the normal boxy, I'm on a TV look.
So was it also black and white and likes to eat bamboo? And it's
Panavision, you what? Panavision.
Yeah. Panavision. Is there also an express line for the food?
All right.
Okay.
This looked somehow not as good as the first movie. Or maybe I'm just looking at the first one through my nostalgia of a whole week.
A day ago? The first one, while not perfect or not incredibly high production value, it was a small enough story that it could look good just being in high school or on a football field. But when you're like blowing up buildings and having like crews of werewolves going into caves and doing whole productions, it kind of demands a bigger budget or something, right? No? Yeah?
I thought you said you weren't judging these kids. I thought you were saying good job, sweetie.
I'm judging Disney.
All right.
Throw some more money on it, Disney.
All you care about is money.
This is definitely one of those movies where as a kid you'd watch it and just go, yes, I like this.
Yeah.
And then you'd watch it like 10 years later when you're older and be like, what the hell was this and how did they get away with it?
Again, if it did come out 5 years earlier, it would be one of those where you go, okay, I can understand why we're still doing this, you know, but it came out in 2020.
How do you do, fellow kids?
So as we get into it, it starts off, you know, everyone's happy, everyone's integrated.
We get a little background on where the zombies came from.
Oh my God.
Apparently they were made by the Moonstone.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a retcon, but it was kind of like, you know, that would have been a cool piece of information to have in the first movie because it feels pulled out of your ass.
Well, of course it is. They didn't have werewolves in the first movie.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you think they planned, spoiler,
No.
all the way to the beginning, do you think they planned for her hair to actually mean something? Or are they truly just like, God, what is the worst thing a teenage girl could endure? White hair. That's it.
Before it's a trend.
Right, before it's a trend. Now that it is a trend, she's a werewolf.
Because even in this movie, her hair wasn't even that white. I was like, your hair's just platinum blonde, honey. It looks really good.
Something that I thought was interesting that they tried tackling, and that's not at all relevant for nowadays, was the rolling back of the anti-monster laws. You know, when something's been in effect for a while, and then all of a sudden one thing happens, and then they just rip that law away.
Never mind, you can't have that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what that would feel like.
No. Apparently the solution is to just go to prawn.
Yeah, that's how we fix things,
That's
guys.
how we fix everything.
Not that this is relevant for anything going on in the news nowadays, but if hypothetically it was, the way to solve that hypothetically would be for all of us to hold hands and go to prawn.
I mean, shit, maybe that's a thing. Maybe we can all just literally throw a prom in the middle of Washington, D.C. The anti-monster laws were rolled back, and literally the only thing that happened was monsters weren't allowed to go to prawn. Was there literally any other consequence of that? In the first...
The froyo? Gone.
But that was his choice to end the froyo. That wasn't even a part of the monster
His
laws.
froyo, his choice.
In the first movie, we spent the whole movie like, oh, monster laws. You have to live separately. You can't go to school. You can't interact. You can't be around these people. Like, it was full segregation. And this one, they were like, monster laws are back. Y'all can't go to prom.
Which brings up another point, by the way. In the beginning, when they're doing their whole, like, I'm singing over here and I'm singing over here and we're separate, but don't worry, we'll come back together and I'll punch you in the face because that's apparently how we greet each other. She says something along the lines of, like, God, I hope he asks me to prawn. And I'm like, what?
Hope I get asked to prawn and be better than ever, better than ever.
Are y'all dating? I hope he asks you to prawn.
He's going to.
They like try to make a deal of it for like all of 2 sentences. One person says, wow, a zombie and a human hand in hand. I'm like, yeah.
Have they not been dating all year?
That was the entirety of the... What? How is this a thing?
I know.
How are we surprised by this?
They were acting like things that were established already weren't, and then they were acting like things that weren't established were. And you're just like, no. Explain that.
Explain it. You're telling me that lime juice and a moonstone, and the next one's gonna be like lime juice, moonstone, and spoiler alert, but I've seen aliens in the trailer.
Exactly.
But they'll be like alien jizz apparently all, you know, made us, and that's it. That's how it happened. We didn't tell you that because you weren't listening.
I just felt that it was very all over the place. I felt like I didn't know what was going on the whole time. I was just
I thought that was just me.
So the first one kind of had their little jumps and their leaps that you had to take with them because they didn't
leaps
really...
of logic.
Of logic, of really everything that you kind of just...
But you knew what was happening.
Yeah, it was a simple enough story that you were just kind of like, okay, sure, I'll give it to him. This one was just kind of like...
Oh, and there's moonstones. And the rock is underneath the thing now, but we can't blow it up. Also, some people are activists, but also we'll forget about the activism. I'm also the president now. I'm not the president.
I want to be president. There's monster laws, but also the monsters still go to school, but they can't go to prom, but they can run for president.
A zombie president? Ew!
There was a moment in The Last Dance where the new werewolf guy, I believe his name's Wyatt, he takes off Eliza's bracelet for a second. She hulks out.
Yeah, and then he puts it back on, and she's just like,
and that's it.
Yeah,
and I had to rewind it. I rewound it like 5 times.
Super random.
And I was just like, did I miss something? Did he like do an update? Did he add? Because he like takes it off screen and then brings it back. I was like, did he add a moonstone to it? Did he do something? Because she'd been talking throughout the entire film about how like, oh, maybe we don't even need them.
Yep.
But at the end, it was like, we don't need them. Just kidding. I want it back on.
Just kidding. Put it on.
What?
I know. I think it's time to talk about our werewolves. I have the same issue with the werewolves that I have with the zombies. They're people.
Even worse. Honestly, the zombies at least had the skin and like the hair, because that's all you know with zombies. Zombies more or less are a form of a human, just in whatever sense of decay that they're in.
They're not rotted at all, and they look like the Joker.
Yeah, okay. All true things, but more or less they fit on the spectrum when it comes to designing a zombie. Werewolves have 2 very distinct stages: the human part and the goddamn wolfman part.
I will say that for me, their werewolves are closer to werewolves than their zombies are zombies, because of the fact that when they do wolf up, quote unquote, their eyes glow and their teeth come down.
You have a really low standard.
But I mean, like, honestly, it's more of a werewolf than the damn zombies are zombies. If I saw that, I would say werewolf before I saw one of their zombies and said zombie. If I went to a Halloween party and saw one of their werewolves and they went rah, and their eyes glowed and their fangs came down, I'd be like, oh yeah, you're a werewolf. If I saw one of their zombies, I'd be like, oh, where's Harley Quinn?
Get the hell out of here. I mean, you're not wrong. He's not wrong, folks.
But I was very disappointed that we didn't see a like, don't tackle werewolves if you don't have the budget to make at least one wolf person.
Exactly. And listen, I liked New Moon. I've said it before. I will say it here. I like the fucking werewolves. They're cool. Breaking Dawn Part 1, when they're having that whole conversation in Wolf, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great scene. It's literally just a bunch of big dogs howling at each other, but it gets the job done.
I liked the pack leader, the alpha female.
The girl? Oh, yeah,
Yes.
I liked her too.
I absolutely loved her singing.
Yeah, I actually loved that song, We Own the Night. That was a badass song.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of looking down on my phone, and as soon as she started singing, naturally my ear just perked up.
Yes.
Because it was like, I've enjoyed the music in these so far, but nothing has really like hit. And then she started performing, and I was like, oh, yes, I'm not biased.
Right.
I'm waiting for something that I actually like.
Exactly.
I enjoyed the music more in this one overall, I believe. I think they stepped it up there.
Yeah, it was hard because I think I liked the music more, but I didn't like the choreography as much. So it felt like
It was a trade-off.
It was a trade-off that I think I would still take the first one over the
'cause
second one.
You're not a big musical type person.
I'd like for them to work in tandem.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not saying this choreography sucked.
No, I know. But if you had to pick one, you would probably pick choreography, whereas I would pick music.
Right.
What is it? The Do It Like the Zombies Do? That was really cool.
That was cool.
think-
And I did like the political song, the back and forth.
Yes, that was fun. I think that, and I'm sure this was probably on purpose, was very much giving Hamilton.
Who looks out for the crowd? Then I'm winning. Someone that'll make you proud. Then I'm winning.
Hamilton's been out, I think, since 2015. So it's surprising that the influences were more apparent in this one than they were in the first one.
Well, this one, they were like, okay, that Hamilton is getting real popular.
It makes me realize that Hamilton could use more werewolves and zombies.
Yeah, you know, a lot of things could use more werewolves and zombies. I would definitely keep up with politics if there were more werewolves and zombies.
Something I did like, and I forgot to mention in the last one, but they got a freaking shrimp mascot. That's amazing.
Did they not have one before?
They didn't have one in the first movie. That budget all went to the shrimp mascot.
I'm pretty sure there was already one.
No, there wasn't. Watch that
Couldn't
entire
they-
first. There was no mascot. No, I mean a physical costume.
Yeah, no, couldn't they have like just borrowed it from like Nickelodeon? Because they always have that like lobster guy that runs around and does shit.
He's actually been unemployed since the Amanda Bynes show was canceled.
Sad day. No, he was on Victorious.
Oh,
So
shit.
he's been working.
Oh God, I'm glad. Also, why did they allow the mascot to drive the bus? Can you explain that? No wonder they crashed.
I know, right? At first I was like, how did he not see a whole ass ladder in the road? But then I looked, he was
fucking
looking
costume.
to the side. I was like, yeah, you shouldn't be driving.
Did anyone else notice that?
Yes, absolutely.
Do kids notice that? If you are a kid who watches our channel, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here. We say mean words.
We say bad words. Don't repeat these to your parents.
Can we talk about how Addison was basically eat, pray, loving her way through different cultures?
Yep. And she fully was like, wait, I'm your super wolf?
Oh
like,
my God.
I'm totally a wolf now. Like, they barely had to convince her. They were like, hey, you could possibly be a werewolf. And she was like, I'm a werewolf. And then everything makes sense. Don't talk to me, babe. I'm a wolf now. I found my pack. Really? Really, Addison?
I mean, not to justify the way Zed was acting, because he was being a bitch.
No, I mean, if I was Zed, I would have been like, babe, please put this necklace on and stop. Like, you are not a werewolf, honey.
And then the other thing, they can't give that girl a good wig to save her goddamn life, because she came out looking like Kylee and Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, that is a perfect combination, because I was like, no, Kylee looks good with her white braids. Like,
it was wrong. She came out and went, oh my,
this was
how did you...
tragic.
You did.
No!
What is that wig?
Maybe that was their way of saying, hey, maybe she's not a werewolf. Maybe she's just trying it on now.
Maybe she's just appropriating.
Maybe this isn't the look for her.
Maybe she's just Camilla Bell in 10,000 BC.
Right? Speaking of the werewolves, were they supposed to represent Native American, like indigenous?
God, I hope not.
People?
Because then she just Last Samurai'd her way into the middle of them.
I was about to say, I feel like that's what the point was supposed to be, because they were like, oh, we're the originals.
Yeah,
we were
they
here
did.
first. I think that's what they were trying to do with
maybe
them.
Native Americans should just dance on their land until everyone goes away.
Maybe they should just go to prawn.
Go to prawn, dance on the land, go to prawn, and we'll give back the land. America will be like, oh shit, did we steal this from you? Fuck.
Bro, I was not sorry about it until you busted those badass moves, and now you know what? Fuck me.
Fuck me.
This is all yours now.
Scared us.
Now, we do joke about it, but I will say this is, of course, a great intro to having these type of conversations with your kids. Some of the articles I was reading were that there were parents who they'd watch this with their kid, and the kid would go, well, why aren't they together? Why does everyone have an issue with them sharing the same space? So, if you navigate it the right way, you can take this movie and bring the conversation to modern day.
And then the parents go, you know how mommy doesn't like black people?
Oh my God. Benji! I do think that this tried to tackle a little bit deeper of a storyline. I like the idea that Zed has assimilated and he doesn't want to challenge the status quo, as it were, which is interesting. Things are going well for us. Why would I upset that if things are going the way that we want to? I like the fact that he was challenged on the fact that he can't control her and he can't project his view of how to fix things onto other cultures, other groups. And then by the end, in Disney fashion, of course, he dances his prejudice away and we're all friends in the end. I think that's a nice progression of the story. Again, like we said in the first one, it either needed to go much deeper or just pull itself all the way back.
Yeah, same. I will say he already did that in the first one. In the first one, things were going well and he was very remiss to do anything to stop that.
Yeah, but this time we brought in a different group of oppressed people.
Okay.
So it could have been interesting.
It could have been interesting.
But it wasn't.
Final note for me. That last dance scene did get me.
Oh my God.
I thought it was really cool. I mean, they did the water dancing. That was pretty cool. I liked that everybody kind of came in their groups with their specific styles and then they kind of mixed it around. Again, I did like the music better in this one, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So I have two notes. These are my two final notes for the entire thing because honestly, this movie didn't inspire many thoughts and ideas. How the hell have these werewolves stayed hidden for so long?
Yeah.
They were singing in the goddamn streets.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, so y'all just do this every night and no one sees you ever?
He was like, she saw you howling. Yeah. All of you were you're just out in the open.
Literally out. I think that they usually stay hidden in that forest and the people don't go there because it's like haunted and it has the mysteries of the werewolves or whatever. And they only came out because they were looking for the moonstone because their moonstones were running out.
No, I get that. But that intro made it seem like hundreds of years had passed.
Yeah.
And not a single person wandered into that forest.
Nope, apparently not, or else they ate them.
I guess I was just hoping for a better explanation as to why we discovered the werewolves now. So if I'm going to put my screenwriter hat on for a moment, the first movie events should have been the only reason why the second movie events happened. But as it was, any old car accident could have happened upon these werewolves who are doing not a goddamn thing to hide.
Yeah, you're asking a lot from this movie.
I realize that, which is why that's the end of my notes.
We did it. We have enough hot takes. We don't need any more. No more opinions, no more hot takes.
Oh,
Oh my God. Another final note?
Bucky's prom jacket. This super bright, sparkly pink one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want that.
That's it.
This is the part of the show where we rate it and we decide whether or not it is a pop or a stop. Pop as in pop, pop. Keep that poppin'. Das poppin'.
Or is it a stop, as in, girl, stop?
I feel like there should be a better way of saying this, but I'm gonna give it a stop. But I give it a soft stop. It's a stop for me. I wouldn't put this as a stop for anybody else. This is not like a hard stop, bad stop, don't stop, won't stop believing. This is just kind of a stop. This is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory stop.
Stop, don't come back.
It's a half-hearted stop.
If you're trying to sit down and watch a movie with your kids, don't listen to me. What are you doing here? We're just two YouTube men shouting into the void, leeching off of other people's hard-earned work. So, soft stop.
Okay, a lot like the first one. I kind of started out like, man, let's see what happens. Let's see. And then in the middle, I was like, I don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm kind of lost.
Yeah.
The story's kind of jumping around. I don't know if
Okay.
I'm tracking.
Kind of like this right now.
Exactly. And then
Oh no.
at the end,
No.
we have a really, really epic dance number where they all come together and realize, hey, it's all love here between all these factions of creatures.
Wow. They really just get you in the end, don't they?
It all came together and it still didn't do what I needed it to do.
Oh shit.
It's a hard stop for me.
Oh, it's a hard stop.
It's a hard stop. I couldn't find the care for this movie.
You really didn't. We're shooting this at 11 at night because you just kept getting sidetracked.
I paused the movie and forgot completely that I was watching it
Wow.
for like an hour and a half.
Wow. So that's why we're shooting this late at night. So full stop.
Full stop.
Full stop. But what do you think? Do you think we got it wrong? Is it a pop to you? Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And let us know if we should cover the third one. I mean, we got to find out what happens to that hair.
Yo,
I mean, what
her
ugly wig are they
hair-
going to put her in now?
Did you see her hair start glowing?
Yeah.
She's gonna have one of those weird blacklight neon wigs that she's like, look, my hair is glowing. I must be an alien.
If you like this, leave a like, follow us, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We have a Patreon where you can catch our full reactions as well as some exclusive reactions. But until then, I'm Rizzo.
I'm Benji.
Sweet dreams, pop stars.
Keep watching. If we could fix this, how would we fix it?
I would have that shrimp mascot in more scenes. He'd be a secondary
There you
character.
go.
He'd be futzing around in the background. And then at the very end, they'd be like, oh my God, we have to have somebody go in there and turn off the bomb before it explodes. He would pick up the bomb and then accidentally fumble it, but it would fumble out and it would explode on all the racists. End of story.
Oh, did you see that? That was a high five.